everybody, this is Joanne from the Perilous Fight. Today I want to talk about God. I want to talk about God in a real world way. This is not going to be a conversation about religion per se. This is going to be a conversation about God and all the things that He has done, and all the things that some things that I wonder about, and some things that God has created. I think so many people don't um, they don't know that their life can get so much better because they haven't had the guidance, they haven't been uh, talked to about God in a real world way. For example, like just speaking about some of the things that He's created. Like if you think of a cat, who made the first cat? Because some people say, well, cats make cats. But somebody had to make the first cat. That purrs, that has whiskers, that has the ability to jump like they do, that their tail is a warning that they're ready to pounce. Somebody made a Bengal tiger. It's like God's organized the animals, right? Like I guess he thought it out pretty good because there's different categories of animals. So if you think of the cat, you have the lion, you have the Bengal tiger, you have the lioness. I guess that's a female tiger. You have the Siberian tiger. You have a bobcat. You have a cheetah. You know, I just think it's fascinating. Because you know what I wonder about? I wonder about what does when God? I wonder where He sits. If He sits when He was thinking about creating these animals and making these animals. If He sits or stands, then I thought, what does the place look like where He creates them? Does He create one at a time in this place? Is it like a room? I don't know. I think about this stuff sometimes. I'm just curious because I see these creatures, these animals, and I'm just fascinated. It has to be like, this is power. That's like God's power display. When you see a Bengal tiger, like I was watching an episode of Houston SPCA, and other angels over there doing some good work, and so they had this Bengal tiger in the cage, and she just jumped up at the cage, and one of the people that were there to save her said his heart was just pounding 130 beats a minute. I'm not even sure if that was really. I think that's real fast. I'm not even sure how many beats. I forget how many beats per second the heart's supposed to pound, but it's just like God's power is displayed, right? It's like God's power comes through animals, like a Bengal tiger. God's power comes through a shark, comes through an elephant. It comes through human beings too. You know, God's, like when you hear Andrea Bocelli sing, like that's a God thing. That's not just a human thing. When you see Michael Jordan play basketball, that's just not a human thing. There's something going on when you watch Michael Jordan play basketball back in the day. When you hear Celine Dion sing, when you would hear the voice of Whitney Houston, you know, I believe when you hear Justin Bieber, he has such a special voice, such a unique voice, such a sweet voice, and I think that's why people are so drawn to him, because instinctively, somewhere, they get that that is more than just a Justin Bieber thing. That's like a God thing. That's something's coming through him. Like when, people would hear Dr. Martin Luther King speak. When a person becomes actualized, when they do what they're intended to do, something just comes through them. Just like when a painter paints, and that's what they were supposed to do. So I finally like to talk about God because I just find it really interesting. Because I think, you know what I think? I think sometimes he's stressed out. I just think something happens in this world that we, his children, have to do what's required to help each other and to keep this world and get it back on track to where people are enjoying their life and they're finding happiness. Because sometimes it's just like, that it just seems like people are pushed in directions for reasons that their parents want, that the schools want, that the government wants taxpayers. The schools, the university wants tuition. They want the money. And the parents, sometimes they don't know better, so they're just pushing them in a direction that they really weren't intended to do. And then you find somebody who's just really unhappy. And they're just trying to survive life rather than become actualized and enjoy their life. And like there's some things like in the schools they still don't teach enough about financial education. So when I say I wanted to talk about God, I just feel like it's our responsibility to go in the direction of our dreams. And sometimes the truth is sometimes people are born with a dream, with the gifts, and the sad thing is that their situation, their home life is so bad that they're not able. It just doesn't come to pass. And that time, for example, a model, maybe an athlete, their time is going to pass by the time they get to a safe place. And some spirits, everybody has a spirit within them. And some spirits are not as strong as others. Some people aren't as strong as other people. And people that are strong sometimes don't understand. Like, why are you blah, blah, blah this way? But the other person is just like, I'm just beaten down because of what has happened. And they don't realize they're in a perilous fight. Once you realize you're in a perilous fight, I mean, it's at least 25% of the battle. Another 25% is get it right with God, because I don't believe you're going to really get there to become actualized where you need to be without Him. And He deserves credit, and He deserves to be acknowledged for all that He does by bringing the people into our lives that help us get to be where we want to be in life. And a lot of times I think I think it's a lot of things that we don't have to deal with. When you have your family alive and well, then you don't have to deal with, what some other people have to deal with. You don't have to deal with a loss of a child or a spouse. Um, and when you don't have to deal with disease, and you don't have to deal with um, losing someone, when they've gone off to war. So I think that, we should do better to try to help each other, because I really believe that God intended us to have an enjoyable life, to have happiness, to have peace of mind and safety, and to help each other, and to clean up this world. Sometimes you just gotta get like a grocery bag out and go out and clean up some of the garbage out there. And then you just think of all the times that you've littered in your life. Like, I used to smoke, that I quit 12 years ago, but I still smoked. And that, pollution I put into the air and the cigarette butts, and I'm glad I don't anymore. But, you know, God has, just made such fascinating, like, even when it comes to the ocean, He's made the sharks and the different kinds of sharks and the different kinds of whales and all the thousands of types of fish. And here we go along, we're just polluting the ocean. Which, by the way, a waste management company could make billions off of the the waste that's in, especially off the coast of Hawaii, the big island of Hawaii. There's like, I don't know if they said 2.5 million tons or 2.5 million pounds of garbage that are in the ocean. So a company could set up shop and hire, maybe even try to get investments coming in from the government to create jobs or private capital, and then get out there and start cleaning, getting some of that garbage out there, and they could recycle it and make some products to sell. Um, and they could sell products to, the lower income people of the market, because that's how Walmart makes their billions, right? They make it on a micro level. They make it on volume, not on like these big sale ticket items. Do you know what I'm saying? So that company could turn around and make products that, you know people need. They need mattresses, you know, um, just for an example. But so understanding that it is a perilous fight. If you're breathing, you're in a perilous fight. And if you're young, you need to accept the fact that there's some things you just don't know, that you don't know, and it's a wise and smart thing to ask people that you trust. What are some of the things, what are some advice that you can give me? Because I don't want it to be as hard as it is for some other people. The worst mistake you can ever make is to do drugs. The best decision you could ever make is to decide to accept that there is a God and you should have a relationship with Him, and to be strong. When you're going through the fire of life, you have to say to yourself, be strong. I am strong. Bad things are temporary. It'll pass. Change your thoughts and you'll change the way you feel. Start helping. Make YouTube videos and share resources. Um, Post things online that you know that you can help. If you know where there's a deal, if you know where somebody can get food, if a single mom or kid or a young person going to school can get help with getting some food. People need food. Thousands of people need food every month. It's ridiculous. There's enough money in the world. It's just greed and power, and they get off on it. That's the whole sad thing, is they get off on it. It's not right. So I'll end with the Joanne's Duck, which is a Joanne's Did You Know? And what I would say today is that I will repeat that there is, if you need some therapy, emotional therapy, sometimes the best thing you can do is to get a pet. And if you don't have a lot of money, SPCA, or you could Google other resources to help pay. Sometimes they pay for all of the spay or neutering for your pet. And shots for the animals aren't expensive. And sometimes you can't afford the down payment, the pet deposit, so you have to be smart about concealing your pet, because sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. And you need a pet, they need a home, and they who have it sometimes don't want to help enough. And we have to save these animals. And if, that's it. That's it for this video. Okay, thank you.